Hello everyone, Lewis Crompton here, and this is not financial advice. I'm going to be sharing with you how much money you need to get started investing, and at what point it makes sense for you to invest traditionally or non-traditionally. Got a couple of options there. If you want to learn how to do money better, how to make more of it in less time, then like this video and subscribe to this channel to find out more about how to be smart with your money and get started investing. Now, I get asked this question a lot because of what I do, and I want to answer it here for all of you lovely lot. The reality is that you could start investing with as little as £1. The other reality is there isn't really a lot you can do with that. Now, I'm a big believer in start with whatever it is that you have, even if it's a small amount, but does that make sense for you is the next question we need to ask. The amount that you can invest then is as little as, say, £1. That you can do with certain brokers who allow fractional positions. Whether you should invest like that depends on some other questions that really we need to be asking first before we look at what type of investment works for you. Firstly, do you have money sat in the bank that you could invest? If you do, how much do you have? Do you have any bad debt? How much bad debt? And I'm going to address each of these different scenarios through the video. Now again, when I refer to bad debt, I'm referring to money that isn't earning you money. That is the kind of debt that we want to pay off, and that is really our primary focus before investing. I know some people would disagree with that. Now, I paid off some bad debt a few years ago when I was toying between buying another property for my portfolio or paying off this debt. I chose to pay off the debt. Why? Because although the debt was only costing me around £600 per month, the asset would have earned me just £400 per month, meaning I would still have the debt and I would still be in a deficit with my repayment as well. Okay, I would have also had an asset if I'd bought the property, but I'm a big believer in making sure our financial situation is also one that brings us peace, man, and not stress into our lives. So for me, by paying off that debt, I wasn't just clearing my books, it was taking the emotional stress of that debt out of the equation as well for me. I am very happy to say that I am bad debt free. I've got plenty of invested debt, but that's fine. And I still have a very healthy property portfolio. And by invested, I mean things like mortgages. Now, we need to first of all make sure that you have excess each month from your job. So a minimum of at least, let's say, £200 each and every single month. Now, two ways we can do that if we're not there yet. We can increase your monthly income, or we can decrease your monthly expenses. Or we can do both. Of course, we can do both. Why not? Let's have it all. Have you got a rainy day fund? No. Let's focus on investing into one of those first two. Why? Because what happens when the car breaks down? Or you break your bed due to extracurricular activities? You're going to have to fix it. Those things need to be fixed. So let's make sure you have at least 2 months worth of expenses saved up for that. Ideally 3 to 6 months, but minimum 2 months. Now we have both of those things covered. We've got them secured. And the excess that can then be used can be used to invest. And now this is where things start to get exciting. And what about if you don't have debt and you have money in the bank? What then? Really, really exciting. Then it's a case of how much and how much work do you want to do? How much work are you willing to invest into this? Now you could put it all into the stock market or into index trackers, but if you have enough, then buying an investment property may also be a good idea for you, depending on how much you have. Ultimately, what we want to do is have your money make more money, and that is not going to happen if you just have it sat in the bank. Don't get me on a rant about the bankers and what they do with your money and the pathetic returns they give you. Now, if you have under £300 per month available, then I would look to purchase index trackers or save up some of that for ongoing financial education and mentorship. If you have around 3,000 in the bank, then again, education on how to generate more capital may be a really good decision for you. Good quality financial education starts at around about £1,000 and up. To have mentorship included will range anywhere from £3,000 to £100,000, if not more. The sky's kind of the limit there. If you want to invest in property from the perspective of owning the asset and renting it out, then I would say you probably need at least £25,000 to do that. Yes, you can invest in property with as little as £1 too, but that means you're doing something called lease options or rent to rent, and you don't actually own the property. For me, the point of being involved in property is that you own it. There is a heck of a lot wrong with properties sometimes, and if you don't have at least £25,000 in your pocket available to make it livable, then you're putting yourself on a really sticky wicket. We have to be thinking about what is the best route for you to take to make the most of the money that you have available. The way that I would advise, and I do advise high net worth individuals, is very, very different. I would advise them towards asset protection, capital protection, and assets which are going to appreciate in value. Every single one of my students that isn't a high net worth individual, the strategy is going to look different. It's about capital creation. It's about cash flow. It's more short term than it is long term because we need to have the short term catered for and taken care of. That is why I'm a big believer that every single person should start their wealth creation journey with a skill set that generates them cash flow. For me, that was trading financial markets. It's such a low barrier to entry in terms of how much money you need to start. Financial market trading, the way I do it, only takes 30 minutes a day, and I've got a whole team of specialists able to help people along their journey to making significant wealth through that form of cash flow. Once you've done it, once you've learned it, you can start investing in property. That is the same step-by-step process that I followed when I first began looking at investments. In summary, you can start with any amount of money, but where and how much you should invest really depends on your own specific situation. If you want to hear more about how to do money, how to do it better, how to make more of it in less time, then like this video, subscribe to this channel, and make sure you share this video with someone else who you think will find it helpful. My name is Lewis Crompton, and this is not financial advice.